Hello, the Divine Code reading for August 30th, pages 167 and 168. We're in the chapter, Which Actions Make One Liable for Idol Worship? Halakha number 25. There are those who say that one who sings, the main instrument, the main musical service in the temple was only by voice, as explained by Rambam, Laws of the Temple Utensils 3:3. One who sings before an idol is liable, because this was a service in the Holy Temple. It was part of the sacrificial services in the temple and a preparation for them. According to this opinion, one is liable if he does this for an idol, even though it is not the traditional manner of worship for that idol. Miriam Tractate Sanhedrin 60b and Zufanat Hayat Tinyana Hilkot Avoda Kohaim, Chapter 3. The author thinks that other authorities don't accept this view. The author of the Divine Code thinks that other authorities do not accept this view and don't consider the Levite songs as the main service in the Holy Temple, but rather only as an accessory service for the main service, the sacrifices. This is consistent with not being mentioned in the Mishnah of Tractate Sanhedrin 60b, which discusses the 4 special services for God in the Holy Temple. Furthermore, song doesn't resemble any of the 4 special services. So the question is whether or not other auxiliary services in the temple. You had 4 main services: bowing, slaughter, burning, and libation. Those are the 4 main services in the Holy Temple. There's other activities that are part of it. So one of the other activities, singing, was part of the sacrificial service. So it would be part of the slaughter, and perhaps part of the burning also, perhaps. And so these are auxiliary services that are part of one of the main. Would those be considered, would auxiliary services be considered something that if a person did in front of an idol, when people would not normally do such a thing? If you have an idol that people don't sing to, would singing to the idol, to that idol, be considered one of the 4 or one of the main services in the Holy Temple? That's the question. But if the customary worship of an idol is to serve it by singing or playing musical instruments, then one who performs this service is obviously liable. So if it is something that is done, in any case, if something that is normally done for an idol is done for the idol, that's considered service. So the question is, if it, in the case where it's not normally done for the idol. Rashi on Tractate Sanhedrin 64b says that it is a sin of blasphemy also applies to one who sings to an idol. So one who does something, basically one who does something positive, honoring or, considering something to be a deity is also under the prohibition against blasphemy. Because to speak nicely of an idol is to speak derogatorily towards God. Topic 26. If a Gentile performs the service of an idol in an unusual manner, even if it is a degrading fashion, and his intent was only to degrade it and not to worship it, he is liable for a capital sin. So the person did something in a not normal manner. But it's one of the worship items for that. There's a normal way of worshiping the idol. The person does it in a bizarre manner, but he's still doing it. That person would be liable. For example, one who defecates to Peor or throws a stone to Merculus to degrade them is liable, since it is the traditional way of serving them, even though the rituals are degrading to the idols. Rambam, The Laws of Worship of Stars and Idols, 3:5. He refers to a Jew who does not accept the idol as a god and intended to degrade it, but since he performed its traditional manner of service, his act is accounted as an actual sin. Rabbi Meir Cohen, Ravash, and Keshnaf Mishnah understand Rambam's words in this way. Unlike Lechem Mishnah, therefore, it is clear that if he performs the traditional service of an idol, even if he does not accept its divinity, he is liable. He would only be exempt if his intention is to derive personal benefit, such as one who serves it out of love or fear, or as a superstition for healing. Therefore, a Gentile would be liable for a capital sin, whether he voluntarily performs the idol's traditional manners. Whenever he voluntarily performs an idol's traditional manner of service. See topic 3:34 below. So if a person does not accept the idol as a divinity, but does the service to the idol, even if it's a derogatory service and he's doing it thinking he's degrading the idol, but it's actually service for the idol, he would still be held liable for doing the service to that idol, unless he's doing it for personal benefit. If the idol is known to, let's say the person who does the service to the idol, and it is known to have healing properties. It's rumored that this idol, if a person does a certain service to the idol, he gets healing. Then if he's doing it for the sake of the healing, and he doesn't accept the idol as a worship, but he understands that there's a person that does this procedure receives the benefit of healing, then he's doing it for the sake of the healing, and he doesn't accept, then he would not be liable. He still shouldn't do it. But it's far enough away from idol worship that he'd be exempt from punishment for it. Whereas the person that's doing this service to the idol, he thinks he's degrading it, but because he's doing the service to the idol, he is closer to serving the idol, and he's doing it because he's doing it to degrade the idol. That's actually acknowledging some reality to the idol, and he acknowledges reality of the idol, and he's doing the service. That would be a liability in a physical court. How much more so is in the case of one who performs a traditional manner of service for an idol that is in a way of honor, even though he does not accept it as a deity. So if he wants to degrade the idol, he would be liable for doing this normal service of the idol. Even more so if he wants to honor the idol, even if he doesn't accept it as a deity, but he he wants to do something of an honorable or a dishonorable case to the idol. That's considered performing the service to the idol. However, if one performs a degrading ritual to another idol, which does not have that particular ritual as its traditional manner of service, and his intention is to degrade the idol, even if this idol has a different type of degrading ritual service, like one who defecates before Merculus, who throws a stone to Peor, this is permitted. So if the person is doing, if he's throwing sticks or he's throwing stones at Peor, which does not have throwing stones at it as a method of worship. Peor does have degrading worship towards it, but doesn't have the throwing of stones. So if someone threw a stone at the idol Peor in order to degrade it, that would not be considered active service. This is the implication from Tractate Sanhedrin 64a, as cited by Keshnef Mishnah and Rav Menashe erred by throwing a stone at Merculus, which implies that one is allowed to disgrace another idol in this way. So if a person goes around throwing stones at various idols, and along the path he throws a stone at Merculus, who is actually worshipped that way, in the case of Merculus, that would be considered that he actually worshipped that idol. The other idols, it wouldn't be. It appears this applies specifically to slaughtering, burning, or pouring out a liquid, which are like the special services of the Holy Temple, in that one performs each of these special services to anger or disgrace an idol, such as one who pours urine or feces before Merculus. He is exempt. Nevertheless, from the onset, it is forbidden to use one of the special services for this purpose, and one is only permitted to degrade an idol with a different type of service. However, one who bows down before an idol is not disgracing it at all, and he is liable for capital sin, as explained in topic 28. That's in tomorrow's reading. So the person should not use the temple services. Like let's say a person slaughtered an animal in front of a vegetarian idol. There's an idol that is vegetarian. Person who slaughters an animal, that might be considered degrading to that idol. But he should not do that because it's dishonoring to the four temple services. But it would not be a liability for the person if he did. He just shouldn't do it. One who sacrifices before an idol with the intention of causing anger, either from the idol itself or from its worshippers, because sacrificing is not the traditional manner of service, as with Merculus, for example, he does not intend to accept it as an idol or as a deity. He does not intend to accept the idol as a deity. He is exempt from punishment, but it is forbidden to do so. Tractate Sanhedrin 61a and Rashi there. Ron on Tractate Sanhedrin 61a and 64a, Ritva on Tractate Avodah Zarah 51a, in the name of the Rashba. And that would be the case where the person sacrificed an animal in front of a vegetarian deity that would cause dishonor to the deity and anger or disgrace or anger from the idol worshippers. You shouldn't do it, but it would not be a offense in front of a court. Topic 27. One who served an idol out of love. For example, he desired his idol, this idol, because its service is very pleasing. Or served it from fear that it may wrong him, just as the worshippers believe that it has the power to do good or evil to a person, is liable if he accepts it as a deity. If he served it out of love or fear with the traditional manner of service, or one of the 4 special services of the Holy Temple, but does not accept it as a deity, he is exempt from punishment. Rambam. Laws of the Worship of Stars and Idols 3:5. I'm sorry, yeah, 3:6. Even though some authorities disagree with Rambam about the exclamation of Tractate Sanhedrin 61b regarding love and fear, it is not certain that they argue in regard to the ruling that it is exempt from punishment. Rambam writes in Tractate Shabbat 72 that it is that the 2 situations of a person serves the idol because his love or fear, according to Rashi's opinion, or B, a person serving an idol for some benefit it will bring him, Rambam's opinion, are really one. And that he agrees that one who serves an idol in such ways for his own benefit is exempt from punishment. So this question as to what is meant by love and fear, it could be that the person has love and fear, or it could be that that's an exclamation of receiving benefit, or possibly lack of benefit that he would receive if he didn't do it. Therefore, he's doing it for the there's a belief that the idol somehow does something, and he's doing a service to the idol because of what the idol was understood to do, not because he accepts the idol as a deity. He just thinks that this is how the natural order of the universe works. The natural order of the universe, in his mind, is that performing this action will have a consequence. Therefore, he does the action for the sake of the consequence, not for the sake of worshiping the idol. He shouldn't do it, but it would not be considered a court offense, something that the court would deal with. The heavenly court could deal with it, but the worldly court would not deal with it. It's not liable in a worldly court. It should also be understood that in a way here, we're also seeing that for his own benefit, when we hear for his own benefit, that term, that can refer to either emotional love or fear, or for the sake of a natural consequence that receives from this. It is also apparent from Rashba on Torah Abayit, quoted by Beit Yosef, Yoredea chapter 4, and Shach Yoredea 4:8, who rules that one who serves an idol for his own benefit is exempt from punishment. Likewise, one who serves an idol out of love or fear of a person and does not accept the idol upon himself as a deity, he is also exempt. Rashi, Ravad, Ran, Ritva, in their explanations on Tractate Sanhedrin 61b and Ramban surely agree with them. So if the person has either love or fear of other people, he's interacting with the community and he doesn't want to be treated badly, or he wants to be treated nicely by the community. He's doing it for that reason, and not because he's accepting the idol as a deity, but he wants to interact with other people in a positive way, and that's why he does the service. In that case, he would also be exempt from punishment in the earthly court. Thank you.